Hello to all. Welcome to our reading skill day 45. For the last 44 days, 5 days a week, we have been trying to read and learn something so that our understanding improves. Because without understanding, I don't think that a paper of examination could be tackled properly. Most of the boys who do not work upon their understanding, they find themselves struggling in the examination. I advise you to work upon your understanding so that once you sit in the examination, majority of the questions belong to understanding, and over there you do not struggle. Take care of that. Today's passage was very nice one in terms of reading. Talking about an American Thoreau. He had developed his ideas of defying the power of the state. Defying means oppose openly. I'm opposing somebody. So he developed the idea of opposing the state, the government, in an intense outburst of rebellion. He in fact advocated withdraw, open withdraw, outburst, the bisfort, explosion of rebellion. Following his moral repugnance, hate, he felt hateful, moral wise, against the practice of slavery. He was opposing the state for the practice of slavery that was prevalent in the United States in his time, and the tacit role, that is unspoken, not clearly. Tacit means you are in full support to something, yet you are not speaking it clearly that I am in support. Chupchap, mook, samarthan, silent support, complete silent support. The government, the United States, was supporting slavery, not openly, but completely without speaking, and he felt hateful for that. He refused to pay taxes. Thoreau refused to pay taxes, protesting against the war that would be waged with Mexico. He said that he was not in favor of a war with Mexico over the accession of the state of Texas. United States and Mexico were fighting for control of this state where slavery was rife, that is prevalent. चारों तरफ फैला हुआ था slavery in Texas, and Mexico and US were fighting war. US wanted the slavery to continue. Mexico, the sentence says, wanted to abolish it. To also to control that, so that it could also continue the practice of slavery. This annexation would strengthen, if Texas is brought under control of USA, would strengthen the Southerners, the people living in South. They were supporting slavery against the abolitionists. Abolish. There is a word, abolish, समाप्त करना, and the Northerners wanted slavery to be abolished of the North, abolitionists of the North. It was anticipated. It is evident that Thoreau was convinced that wealthy and vested interest, swarthi log, the people who had their interest involved over there, were manipulating the instruments of the state. They were using the instrument, the resources of the state, to their narrow personal gains, for their interest, for their for the continuation of slavery. Thoreau felt that the Southerners were using the resources of the state. Therefore, he found it more important to listen to the commands. Dictate means commands, निर्देश of the conscience. चेतना की बात वो सुनना चाहता था, than obey unjust law. He didn't want to obey the laws unjust, unlawful laws. Rather, he wanted to listen to his own conscience. He would write that we should be men first and subjects afterwards. Subjects means किसी राज्य के प्रजा. He said that we are men first and praja later on. Thoreau went to jail for refusing to pay taxes in 1846, filled with indignation against the state's attempt to smother the saner voice of the individual. Now look at this. I'm asking the grammatical structure of this part. The first word decides to which part of speech it belongs. And it is V3 form, filled. V3 may be passive voice form or may be participle used as adjective. Had it been a verb, its meaning, there should have been an action over here. If it is talking about a condition, it is not verb, it is adjective, because adjective shows one's condition. I am filled with annoyance, this is adjective. I am annoyed. So this one is adjective. Look at this. And this is an adjectival phrase. We'll come to that. He was filled with anger against the state's attempt to smother. Smother means dabana, stifle. The sane inner voice. The sane means buddhi wala, logical, inner voice of the individual. He wrote, there will never be a really free and enlightened states. कभी भी एक अच्छा राज्य नहीं बन सकता, देश नहीं बन सकता, until the state comes to recognize the individual as a higher and independent power. Until the state recognizes that individual, Vyakti is the higher power, the state cannot be free and enlightened. From which the individual, all its own power and authority are derived. जहां से राज्य को अपनी सत्ता मिलती है. जब तक ये उसकी सत्ता को नहीं पहचानेगा व्यक्ति की, तब तक ये राज्य फ्री नहीं होगा, अच्छा नहीं बनेगा. एंड ट्रीट्स हिम अकॉर्डिंगली, और उसको वैसे ही ट्रीट करे कि वो हायर अथॉरिटी है व्यक्ति. Thoreau wrote, Thoreau continued to fight for the freedom of slaves and assiduously, take a look at this, synonym antonym has been asked, engaged himself in action aimed at setting fugitive slaves free. He wanted the slaves who were fleeing from law, जो कानून से भागे हुए थे, who were absconding, उनको वो फ्री करना चाहता था. And he assiduously, very laboriously, very carefully engaged himself in that work. Now, look at the questions. Which of the following facts seem not true in the light of the passage? कौन सा statement passage के अनुसार सही नहीं है? Look at this. The US government supported the system of slavery openly. In comprehension, it is written tacit support. Not openly, चुपचाप रह के support करा था state. In the view of Thoreau, which one of the following would not lead to defying the state's authority? कौन से का परिणाम यह होगा कि आप स्टेट का विरोध नहीं करोगे किसी कारण से? The state perpetrates the draconian laws. Perpetrate means अत्याचार टाइप का करना. Draconian means unjust, unlawful. स्टेट अगर अनजस्ट लॉ किसी पे थोपता है तो हम विरोध करेंगे. थॉरो ने किया था. द स्टेट ट्रीट्स द सिटीजन्स मेयरली सब्जेक्ट्स एंड नॉट ह्यूमन बींग्स. वो लोगों को सिर्फ सब्जेक्ट्स, प्रजा मानता है, ह्यूमन बींग नहीं मानता. थॉरो का यही लॉजिक था कि जब तक स्टेट ऐसा नहीं करेगा. थर्ड, द स्टेट स्टाइफल्स वॉइस ऑफ कंसाइंस. स्टेट चेतना की आवाज को दबाता है. अनडाउटेडली हम उसका इन तीनों के चलते विरोध करेंगे. बट द स्टेट इंपोजेज न्यू टैक्सेस. अगर वो टैक्स लगाता है, ऐसा नहीं. Thoreau refused to pay taxes in protest, not that he said that the taxes were unjust. So Answer is D. Next, which of the following statements regarding sorrow is not true? कौन सा स्टेटमेंट सही नहीं है? Look at this. See, he just voiced, उसने मात्र आवाज उठाई for the emancipation of the slaves, इनके फ्रीडम के लिए. He acted also. He went to the jail also. He worked to free the slaves. He gave the concept of defiance of authority. उसने किया. He was peeved, angered. He was angered at the government's treatment to the issue of slavery, undoubtedly. He found slavery a crime against morality. This is also correct. But he just voiced, no, he took action also. Suitable antonym, assiduously, very carefully or मेहनत से, ध्यान से. Answer is recklessly. Because reluctantly, अनिच्छा से, तो इच्छापूर्वक. Scrupulously, honestly, तो dishonestly, opposite meaning if it's there. Ignorantly, without having knowledge. So, having the knowledge cannot be there. Recklessly, carelessly. And this one is carefully. So, assiduously, opposite meaning has in recklessly. And to which grammatical category it belongs? Now look at this. Verbal phrase in passive voice, it is not a verb, it is an adjective. It cannot be there. Verbal phrase in active voice, verb is not there. Subordinate clause, if it is there, a complete sentence should be there. Participial clause, see, adjective is also called participle. The participial use of adjective. So, if there is an adjectival phrase, it can be called participle. And if we call it participle, we have to give it, because participial phrase is not there. Whether there is a finite verb or not, we call it participial clause only, because we can change into a complete sentence. So, the answer is P. Look at this. A filler is there, but paragraph filler. When I am elected, I will work towards effecting the changes. Effecting means to bringing about the changes for which I have been fighting all these years. मैं उन changes को लाऊंगा. We will work together to do away with the bureaucratic bogs. Do away with means finish. समाप्त करने की कोशिश करूंगा जो ब्यूरोक्रेटिक परेशानियां हैं, सरकार के तरफ से परेशानियां खत्म करूंगा. Which have existed ever since my opponent took office. जब से अपोनेंट लोगों ने सत्ता संभाला तब से ये चीजें चली आ रही हैं, मैं उसको समाप्त करूंगा. Every one of you knows, तुम में से सब कोई जानता है. An election campaign is there. What I stand for, मैं जिस बात का सपोर्ट करता हूं तुम में से सबको जानता है. I invite my opponents to, मैं opponents को invite करता हूं कि वो आए और ये करें. Make his point of view clear. वो अपने point of view को clear करें. Because other words, hand in his resignation graciously, कि अपना resignation दे दें. अगर मैं सत्ता में आया तो रेजिग्नेशन देने की बात नहीं हो रही है. स्टॉप लाइंग टू द पब्लिक. आई इनवाइट, मैं आमंत्रित कर रहा हूं. नॉट सुटेबल एंड गेट आवर सिटी मोर फेडरल एड, कि वो दैट इज इलॉजिकल. वो अपना विचार व्यक्त करें इस बात पे. व्हाट दे से. नाउ लुक एट दिस. प्रोफेशनल स्टडीज हैव बिकम द डैश ऑफ द रिच. ये धनियों का अधिकार हो गया. See, there are two things. There is a difference between privilege and right. Right is available to each of the citizens or each of the person. Right to equality, right to freedom of speech, all these things are there. But privilege is given विशेष अधिकार to a select few. कुछ लोगों को जो अधिकार मिलता है, और ये रिच लोग कुछ लोग हैं, दैट इज वाई इट इज नॉट राइट, इट इज प्रिविलेज. एवरी सिटीजन हैज द राइट टू स्पीक, क्वाइट क्लियर, हैज द राइट टू स्पीक, not to privilege to speak. He has a definite advantage over all the rivals. Now look at this. In 3 blank spaces, there are 3 different words, A, C and B. So, answer cannot be determined from here only. Look at the 4 number. Sharon no longer has the dash of the company's bungalow and car. कंपनी ने उसको कार दिया है और बंगलो दिया है. ये उसका राइट तो नहीं हो सकता, कंसेशन नहीं हो सकता, एडवांटेज नहीं हो सकता है, वो उसको इसका विशेष अधिकार मिला है. सो इन 2 blank spaces privilege gets fit and answer is privilege. The question was a bit difficult in nature. Look at the words perspicacity and perspicuity. Perspicacity is called sharp judgment. When your mental faculty is so sharp that you can judge something very quickly, it's called perspicacity. And perspicuity means something that is the quality of clear in understanding, जो समझने में एकदम स्पष्ट हो, समझने में बहुत क्लियर हो. नाउ लुक एट द वर्ड. द एंड मोटिव ऑफ द एजुकेशन, एंड मोटिव ऑफ द एजुकेशन इज नॉट टू मेक यू अ ब्रेड अर्नर. सिर्फ नौकरी करने के लिए तुमको तैयार करना है, ये नहीं है. रादर टू arm you with sharp judgment. 1 number is quite correct. Look at the 2. When the days are darker, clear in understanding or even in vision also, दिखने में भी. When the days are darker, things are hazy, perspicuity comes to your aid. तुम अगर तुम्हारे को विजन में बहुत क्लैरिटी है, तुम ठीक से देख पा रहे हो, तो वो तुमको शार्प जजमेंट हेल्प नहीं करेगा. तुम्हारे को विजन में क्लियर होना चाहिए, ऑब्वियस होना चाहिए, या अंडरस्टैंडिंग भी चल सकता है. सो बोथ आर करेक्ट. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. लीजर शुड बी यूटिलाइज्ड नॉट इन आइडलिंग विथ. आंसर इज बी, बिकॉज विथ विल बी रिप्लेस्ड बाय अवे. See, idle is an adjective, नकारा, बिना काम का, बेरोजगार. But idle is a verb also, and it takes a preposition away. Idle away means to waste your time, energy, something like that. So leisure should be utilized not in idling away the time saved, but in engaging in some useful and pleasurable activity. समय बर्बाद करने में नहीं. So with will be replaced with by away. Mumbai's bus services are adjudged to be the best in the country, especially because their fares are reasonable on various counts. Look at 2 words, on various counts, from various points of view, अलग अलग विचारों पॉइंट्स ऑफ व्यू से. नाउ ये कहां जाएगा, इसका प्लेसमेंट आप ध्यान दो, कहां पे ये प्रॉपरली प्लेस होगा. एंड लुक एट द कॉमा. Mumbai's best bus services are adjudged to be the best in the country on various counts. बहुत सारे पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से मुंबई के बस सर्विसेज को बेस्ट माना जाता है. ये इसके साथ आना चाहिए था, खासकर उसके फेयर्स को देखते हुए. सो योर ऑन वेरियस काउंट्स शुड बी विथ दिस सेंटेंस and especially should be with this sentence, because especially means किसी particular point of view से. From many points of view there, that is quite best, particularly from the point of view of fairs. So now you got a common error, you got an improvement, a filler, synonym, antonym, means you got everything. If you wish to, do let me know how was your performance and what did you feel about the comprehension also. Please let me know if you wish to. Thank you. We shall be meeting with the next set. Thank you.